we are very fortunate today to be with our Dean here with us. So join us and then let's move on. You're welcome.
You are welcome.
We are very fortunate to have you today. Since your schedules are so tight, we don't want to waste much of your time. And thank you again for all your time.
You're very welcome, because I found that you are doing something very instructive, very helpful to our college.
Okay, thank you. Our first question today is very simple. Which year did Wenzhou University actually started enrolling international students?
I think that should be during the 2006. Yeah, though very few international students, but we had one student who is from Japan to study Chinese history here for master's degree. Yeah, so at that time we started that, and then we started enrolling the language students. Yeah, so that is also that 2006 we already started that, though not so many degree students, but non-degree students. Then in 2014, the provincial Department of Education asked us to establish some majors that is conducted in English. So all the courses of this major is conducted in English. So that time, Wenzhou University recommended the engineering, the mechanical engineering, that is international major. So that was granted international major by the provincial Department of Education. And so we started to enroll international students. I think the degree students at that time, that was 2014. Yeah, though very few students at the very beginning. The first bachelor students only 8, then the second year 6. That was the international students and the Chinese students. They had classes together. Yeah, together. So all the classes would be conducted in English. The teachers, should speak English, and the Chinese students should attend the classes. Then they had to improve their English language first, and then they had to understand that all the contents of the courses of this major in English. Yeah. So it's really a good push for Chinese students, domestic students, to be more internationalized.
Sure.
And then at the same time, the international students, because they were having classes with the Chinese students together, so they can learn Chinese, comparatively speaking, more quickly. Yeah. So that is a good trial. And then the university started to establish more international majors. Then, like the international business.
Business.
That was in 2015. Then civil engineering and international law. So these are the first 3 and 4 international majors.
Oh,
so
that's very good.
Yeah, at the very beginning, that's Chinese students and international students had classes together.
Oh.
Yeah.
So that was a very good step. So putting people of different backgrounds together, managing them, what are some of the challenges? Because people are from different places.
Yeah.
They have different cultures, they have different training. Okay, and then being together, how are some of the challenges dealing with students like that?
Yes. So at that time, I was the director of the International Relations Office. Yeah. And so the challenges are many. Like,
yes.
yeah. For example, some of the students, the international students, they tend to be more casual, and not casual of living style, living style casual. But sometimes they are not like the Chinese students. We say Chinese students are more obedient, conservative, obedient. Sure. Yeah, and they can whatever the teachers say, they think they should learn more and try to understand the teachers assignment, sure, and the lecture, and they will spend more time on that. But some international students, they may just in class, they may raise questions very often, and the teachers would find that wow, sometimes the teacher's lecture is interrupted. Yeah, and but I think that's a good phenomena. Yeah, and so we think that the teacher's lecture should be thought-provoking and always inspiring and encouraging students to ask more questions. That is something good, I think. Though at the very beginning, the teachers may not be very willing to accept that, and so sometimes the thinking, the teacher's main crew of the lecture will be interrupted.
Sure.
But still, it's something good, but something not very good is that the international students sometimes they don't pay enough attention to the campus rules. Yeah, okay. Of course we have any country has the law and then regulation and then rules.
Sure.
And so for example, some students, international students, they ride the motorcycle very fast, and it was shocking. Then right, so sometimes there was accident. Yeah, so we tried to emphasize that obeying of the traffic rules. Yeah, and so we have to emphasize it again, and gradually the international students behave better. So we say that it's kind of self-discipline.
Sure.
Yeah, international students maybe their living background is different, and their cognitive environment is different, and they sometimes not so. They are very self-reliant. That is good, but they are not so self-disciplined. Yeah, and then in that case, Chinese students are much better.
Okay. Yeah. I get your point on that. Because being new to different environments altogether, sometimes they will also have some challenges they have to face. But I think you did very well. So on the average, how many students is the school able to admit per each academic year?
Each academic year, starting from 2016. We started to enroll international students on a large scale to the great extent to Wenzhou University, this kind of scale university. So at that time, we about 160 students.
Oh,
yeah,
that's nice.
Yeah, that was before 2016. That is 8 or 10 or yes, so 12, something like that.
Right from the beginning.
Yeah, but starting from 2016, that was over 100. So that is that 2016. That is, I think, 160 students. And 2017, similar, 115, and 18, similar, and 2019, similar. Yeah, so that is so for the whole university, and we have about 800 international students from the most time we have students from 78 countries.
78 countries.
Yeah, right.
Oh,
So
that's
a great diversity.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's good. So and then I could really see how challenging it could be managing all this. But that's so good. So now we are in the era of global pandemic. So how has it affected the schooling, especially with online classes and other things?
Yeah. The COVID-19 affected our education greatly. Yeah, it's a terrible thing, I think. So last the spring semester of this year, right? That was it should be started in February, and then at that time, the students who went back home for the winter vacation couldn't come back, and the students who went traveling during the winter vacation couldn't come back to Wenzhou, not to say Wenzhou University, the campus or the classrooms. And then so we started that online education for, at the very beginning, I think it was for all international students and domestic students. Chinese students the same. They were at home for the winter vacation. They couldn't come to the campus. And then I cannot remember the exact time, but I think it's maybe late April maybe, right? And then the Chinese students began to come back to the campus. But at that time, the international students still could not come back, could not enter China, right? Because the COVID-19 spread widely in many countries, many areas. So for the teachers, I should say, really worked very hard, because you see, we have to in class we teach the students, and that's face-to-face talk, and then for the online class we have to prepare more. Because that is, every word the teacher says should be recorded. Yeah, so that's a big challenge to the teachers. And one is the contents. It should be it's intense, and that's very proper, and both academically, right? And also sometimes should be suitable for the students. Each sentence is recorded.
Yeah. And it's kind of going international.
Yeah. Yes. And then the second problem is that the technology. Yeah, some of the students, because for me, we are students of arts, and the technology, and sometimes they don't work so well, and not so efficient, and we have to learn and repeat again and make sure it works well. But when we start the class online, many questions raised from the student side. Yeah, though the teachers are prepared, but sometimes the online classes cannot be conducted very well in some areas, especially in some developing countries or non-developing countries. Not so good network. Yes. And the students had lots of trouble and lots of problems. Yeah. And also, I think it's challenging to the teachers. At the same time, it's great challenge to the students. I think the students should be more self-disciplined, better self-disciplined, like we, I think the April, we started to go to the dormitories. So at that time, some students, they were in dormitories, but the international students, they could not come to campus classrooms to have the class.
They were
Still online,
okay,
online courses.
Class. Oh.
But some students were not so well disciplined, self-disciplined. They were in the dormitory. The bed is beside them, and so then sometimes it's a morning class.
Sure.
They just registered in we have Think Talk, Zoom, and they registered. Okay, just say hi, and then they go back to sleep again. So we went to the dormitories, and we knocked the doors, and so it's. I think I'm also a parent, right?
Sure.
Yeah, I think if the parents of you guys see that they support you financially and they work very hard at home, and you are in China taking classes like this, I think that the teachers, wow, the parents should be very sad, and so that's not good. So I think whoever I saw, I'd speak to them like a mom.
Oh, that's
and
good.
Yeah, I think it's like a mom and both a mom and a teacher. I think
that's a very good initiative to conduct. So with respect to when people will be able to return, like students in their country, home countries, do you have any idea when they can actually come back? Because people really miss being taught in class. So they are worried. They get so much worried. So any idea when they can come back?
Okay, I understand your question, but to be frank, I have no idea about that. You know, now, for example, my colleagues, many teachers here, their children study abroad, but then the children come back. Now they are also taking online courses at home, right? And so now winter already has come, and now it's said that according to reports, in some areas, some countries, the COVID-19 returns, and it spreads again, the second round of that spread of the COVID-19. So that it's really something I don't have any idea about that. It's bad. I think I understand that the students and also the teachers miss campus, right? At that time when we were at home, some of the teachers they went back to their hometown for the winter vacation, and then they gave classes online, and they also expressed how eagerly they miss the classroom, the colleagues and the students together. So I understand that, but no, now I have no idea about that. It's very difficult, I think.
Wow, we just hope everything.
We hope everything will be better, and next spring we can embrace all the students back to the campus. Yeah, we hope so.
Thanks so much. So you've done a great deal of work here.
Thank you.
I think we are so much appreciative of all that you've been doing. And I could see from the very time the school introduced international students, right of this time, what was the difference from the time? The difference from the time the school introduced the foreign students till now, with respect to the relationship between teachers and foreigners and foreign students. How has it been?
So from I think last decade, we started that enrolling international students to today. Now this time, things have changed a lot. I think that the Chinese people understand international students better, and then international students understand Chinese and Chinese people and Wenzhou, this place, better. I think that's a good thing. And I hope that we can do better for both sides, because we, the university, are between the Wenzhou society, the community, and our international students. And we hope that they can both understand each other much better. And our students should be more socially inclusive to the community. And our community, our Wenzhou people, can be more open to international students. Yeah, that is our goal. But to reach the goal, I think we still need to do more efforts. And to our international students, I think we should study more hardly. Yeah, that is something I think for Chinese students, most of them, we found that study very hard. And of course we have some very international students, very excellent. They're excellent, working very hard, and but I hope more students can do that. Yeah, and so I think they have to work harder on several things. I think the first is that obey the rules. Yeah, obey the law, the regulation, and the rules. I think we have found that some international students are not so self-disciplined, because you are adults, right? Yeah, here international college students, adults. But many students don't behave so well. For one thing, they always forget when to renew the visa. That is something, required by law, right? You need a valid visa. But every year, so many students, they just let their visa expire. But then, I don't know. But sometimes I think we have repeated and emphasized that to remind them, you have to renew your visa in time. I think that should be several weeks ahead, or at least 1 month ahead. But every time, sometimes our Students Affairs Office found that our Students Affairs Office, the clerks, the teachers are working very hard, and we have the record of every student. And every time we tell them, your visa expires soon, very soon. Please come, and then go to the Entry and Exit Administration Bureau of Public Security to renew that. For this very simple thing, but it's a kind of must for each international citizen. Not only students. You have to be a international citizen, right? And you have to learn to be that. That is very important. And then that students are fined or something, and we have sympathy for students sometimes, and we think that it's a big sum of money. And at the very beginning, we called that Entry and Exit Administration Bureau that to forgive this person or blah blah blah. But then we lost our patience. And we think that if I try to ask them to forgive you, it's not good for you, not good for other students also, right? So I think you are an adult. This is something you must do by yourself. So that is very important. And also to obey the traffic rules, and also obey the university rules, regulations. That is very important. But now I hope that our international students, if you are watching this video, and I hope all international students, you can behave yourself better. So we think that if you want others to respect you, you should respect the local people, and by respecting those rules and regulations, that is very important. Otherwise, you leave a not so good impression on the local people. Yeah, that is something I think. First, to be a good international citizen, and then the second, to be a good international student. That's the second thing. And to be a student, I think we know, right? Study is the first thing. Yeah, you must study hard, and also you come here and you should respect your parents' work, your parents' labor, your parents' love and your support. So you have to make full use of the time here to learn something, and then you go back to be a good supporter of your family first, then a good supporter to build your country, your motherland. Yeah, so that is, I think, we are all adults. I think if I speak too much about that, you think that you all know that. But I just want to remind you and emphasize that. I hope in that you are doing your own best, and then the other people will show you the most respect also, and then you become a very valid person and a supporter to your family and then to your own country.
Actually, you said a lot. These were those words I was about asking, like in form of advice to us. So it's a very nice point you said. So having talk of socialization, does the school organize some kind of outdoor activities on campus to create a relationship between students and town folks?
Yes, right. And for the university, every year we try to create some more activities for international students. Let them understand Chinese culture, Chinese people better. And so every year we have that. For example, this year we have international festival. International cultural festival. That is usually in November or October. This year we have already had that. And we have the international students Chinese skills contest. Yeah, like Chinese speech or Chinese songs.
By both Chinese and international students?
No, international students. International students.
That's amazing.
Yeah, every year we have that. And then we have that the New Year's Gala. Yeah, and we will select that the best 10 singers on campus, right? And that is usually 10 singers. Among them, 1 or 2 should be the international students. Yeah, so that's good opportunity for the students. And then when there is some social activities and cultural activities going on in Wenzhou, held by municipal government, we also try to offer the students this kind of activity. Like I think last month, and we had a very good event, held by the municipal government. And we ask the students to register for that. That we say that is kind of cultural experience activity. Nobody signed for that. So I think that students you should make full use of your time here and participate in those activities more actively. We hope, right? Yeah, more actively. And for me, I also teach the international students that is a compulsory course for the freshmen. That's the China overview.
Overview.
That is. We can also say that is a survey to China. Yeah, it's about Chinese history, geography, culture, education, everything. And for this course, I usually arrange at least 2 field trips. So this time, one is planned next Wednesday afternoon.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
to go
interesting.
to Qidu. It used to be an island,
Qidu,
remote from
Qidu.
remote from downtown Wenzhou. But now it has taken a new look.
Oh,
Yeah, so I'd like the international students to go there, participate in this activity.
So-
And at the same time, I also arrange my students. They are the master degree students. Because their major is they teaching Chinese to speakers of other languages.
Oh,
Yeah, that is the master degree program.
okay.
And my students, 20 students.
20 students.
Yeah, and then I say 20 international students. They go together.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So for me as a teacher, yeah, would like to create more activities for international students and the Chinese students together to enhance their mutual understanding. Yeah, and as a dean, I also hope that our international students should behave better and study harder, and so leave the local people and also the teachers and the students of Wenzhou University a better impression.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. You've said enough.
Thank you.
And it is very open to every student who is watching, I guess. So we cannot say we will promise, but it's a sincere thing we ought to do to ourselves. So we totally understand all that's been said. Thank you so much. Your very last word, as now outside the world, people are just watching, people are hearing from Wenzhou University. Your very final word you can say to the world to know the very better things Wenzhou is giving to the outside world.
Yeah, right. So that's something we are trying to reach the goal. The international students and also their parents, their families back home. We hope that the families, the parents send their children to Wenzhou University to receive education, and your kids are like our kids, and we think that we should teach them to become a better themselves. So that is something we are responsible for the families and the parents of the international students here. So we should be working very hard also to fulfill this goal. Yeah.
Thank you so much, guys. This is our precious Dean, Professor Miao, talking to us. Thank you so much, Professor.
You're welcome. Thank you.